Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 21st. You have this control card and this inheritance card. Kind of weird. A lot of control cards coming up this week, so I'm not so sure how I feel about it. I don't know if this is like something trying to take control of us, because a lot of devil energy in the month of July. All the July readings had the devil. A bunch of people have had the devil this week as well. So, I'm not sure, but there you go. This card is Jupiter in Capricorn, and this is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, by the way. So I just said the sun, and the sun comes out. So that card is positive. And, it can represent kind of like, kind of even looks like the world card, and it can represent kind of like an accomplishment or an achievement coming in for you here, Virgo. So if you are trying to accomplish something, you could be accomplishing something. You have that inheritance card. One thing I will say is I think we are in an amazing time for like downloading information. And so I feel that a lot of us could be receiving inheriting information from source, like in our dreams and our daydreams and things like that. So I probably said this to you last week as well, that I would make sure that you have like a notebook on hand or something like I do right here, right? I'm like a little nerd. I always carry my little notebooks with me. Don't care, because again, it's made me a lot of money just collecting my ideas and then using them in appropriate ways, right? So I would definitely do something like that. It's a very good time for you to do that. You have the Ten of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups in the area of your current general energies for the week. I do feel it could be a very busy week for you, Virgo. So, if you're, but I feel good about this. To me, the Ten of Wands isn't a bad card in the first place. But, even at that, I don't think it always has to be bad. Sometimes I think having extra responsibilities is just part of life. And, he's about to reach his home here in the background, and he is about to have a harvest. That is the story of the card. So it's like, how is that a bad thing? That he is about to, find success or have this harvest, right? So, I kind of feel this is good for you here, Virgo, and there could be a lot of success coming in for you with this energy. So, like I said, I don't really feel bad about this at all. I do think you're busy this week, though. I kind of feel like this is going to continue until like September, at least. I feel that there's a lot going on. So don't be surprised if you get very busy and, really there's nothing else to say. You have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles does represent needing to not be controlled by your past. He is holding on too tightly to what was. And so if there is anything controlling you, it could be like what was, and maybe you have to release that, and that's it. It's like I would release that stuff. It's kind of tricky for, I know I always talk about this with you, Virgo, but it's very important, right? Is that the North Node in Pisces. North Node in Pisces is your opposite sign, Pisces. And so you're going to feel that more, other than, Pisces is the only other sign that's going to feel this strong, right? And so that North Node in Pisces it's very much like karma. And, I think it's probably maybe one of the most karmic places for the North Node to be is Pisces, right? And, it takes 18 months basically. So, or somewhere around there, basically the North Node it takes 18 years, for it to go all the way around, right? And, so, it takes a long time, and, you could be just there. Like, I think for you, that there could be like karmic things that I don't really think you're holding on to it, but it's like, imagine if the universe is just like holding up pictures in front of you of things that have happened to you in the past. And the universe is like, look at this. And I think this keeps happening to you, where it's like, maybe you have moments during your day where you feel super nostalgic, or maybe you have moments where you feel sad. Maybe you have moments where you feel happy, but it's almost like these flashes, it's like the universe is kind of flashing things before your eyes is what I'm seeing. And so this could be making you feel all sorts of feelings. It could even be making you kind of like hold on to the past a little bit, is what I feel intuitively. But at the same time, I feel like what the universe is trying to get you to do is expand and say like, oh, there were good parts and bad parts of these experiences that I had, but it's like, how can I change my focus to be better, to focus on something better, right? And so I don't know if that's confusing or not, but I would just start focusing on the better, right? Or, I would say like, if it could be anything. It could be love relationships you've had, but I think it's everything, experiences, everything. And I would start focusing on the good parts of those things so you can attract more good things, right? But new. You have the Page of Cups. I don't know, you've been getting new love with me for like a couple of weeks now, so if you want new love, definitely could be new love. Could be, and you've been getting water with me as well all of a sudden. You have the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups, so, and you also have the Chariot, which would be Cancer, so definitely could be a water sign if you're looking for love. Doesn't have to be, it could be any sign. Just in general, I look at the Page of Cups as a general admirer, so it could just be a general person that's coming in for you. You also have the Two of Cups in the next row. So Two of Cups is usually different than your usual type, and so there usually is some sort of difference, but also usually that is a good thing with the Two of Cups. So if you want love, that looks amazing, is what I would say to you there. But let's see what is going on for you. Yeah, as always, the King of Wands, I don't take pop-outs, but that King of Wands kept wanting to pop out there, and so, we'll see if he comes up. But the King, you always get fire with me as well. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Sun, which is amazing. You have the Sun twice here in the reading. The Sun makes the whole entire reading more positive. It's the best card in the tarot, so it kind of just makes the reading better. Well, here you go with the Four of Pentacles. Things can be different. You need to believe that things can be different. Two of Swords. You're seeing. It's like the universe is like going like this. I see it in my head. It's like you're being shown these pictures. Almost like pictures, flashes in time, moments that you've had in your life, and it's making you feel nostalgic or something is going on here, Virgo. This is like what I feel intuitively for you. That's how I'm seeing it in my head, and I feel like the Two of Swords is saying, there's something better over here. It's like, yeah, those were good moments, and we shouldn't discount that, but we should, the best is yet to come, is what I feel like saying with this reading here, Virgo. It's like, you need to believe that, though. It's like, I think if we look at the past and we say, oh, I used to be able to do these things because I was younger, or I was hotter, or I was skinnier, or whatever, it's like we're cheating ourselves out of a bright future, and, I really feel like this reading is saying, don't cheat yourself out of that. There you go. I have nothing else to add. With the Page of Cups, you have the Page of Swords. Yeah, definitely could be a person. I'm wondering if someone new has sparked your interest here, or you have your eye on a person. It's almost like I feel like saying the word intrigued. It's like I don't know if you are attracted to a person or if you are intrigued by a person. It's like you're like, this person is interesting. Maybe that's more the energy that you have towards them, which can be interesting, right? So there you go. Next, in the area of the good stuff, what's coming in for you, you have this regeneration card and this Truth Be Told card. Yeah, the Truth Be Told card is one of my favorite cards in this deck. It's like this owl that has a window for a chest, and there's that the mask below it. But it's like a card of opening up to your truth, like living your truth. The regeneration card, it is an amazing time for regeneration. It's a Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is amazing for anything with RE in front of it. So, basically regeneration, repurpose, redo, all that stuff, right? And so I think healing would be good for you. Also, South Node in your sign. South Node in Virgo is amazing for healing. The other thing is, if you want to be a real pain in the ass about it, the pain in the ass is Chiron and Aries. We've had Chiron and Aries forever. It's like, I don't know, it's like, maybe it is my least favorite place for Chiron is Aries, but we're getting to the end, and I do think it is good for healing. In the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Two of Cups, you have the Queen of Cups, and the Four of Cups. So definitely could be an intriguing connection. I feel like you're intrigued. You're probably definitely attracted to this person, but it's like in an unusual way. It's like maybe this person is interesting, which is not a bad thing, obviously. But it's like there's something unusual here popping into my head. Like maybe they live life in a different way, or, maybe they're just different. And, it's definitely popping into my head. But I also feel like this person has captured your attention. And I do think, number one, right now, I think that is fine. As we get closer to the end of the year, I would just be a little bit careful of it, not in a bad way, but we have Neptune and Pisces. Neptune's in Aries, but it's, retrograding. It will retrograde back into Pisces. And the problem with Neptune and Pisces with love is that, if we get into something where we start fantasizing about a person, the fantasy never matches the reality with Neptune and Pisces. So, but there are things we can do, right? So we have to be careful because we can get a little bit too attracted to something that might not be real, right? So to fix that, we just make it real. We go on a date with a person, and we also don't just blindly accept the things that they say. We make sure that there's evidence to back up what they say, right? We don't just fall in love with a person who sells us a story, right? And so I think as long as you do that, you'll be fine. Same thing is true during Mercury retrograde, right? People people love to tell me how dare you say that I should go on a date during Mercury retrograde. I'm like, hey, you know what? If you want to be a prisoner to astrology, that's fine. But then if you really are going to follow all the rules, then you would stop breathing, right? Because if we're really going to follow the rules of astrology, we would never do anything, period. So there you go. But number two, really, the rules are meant to be broken with astrology. You know astrology. You know how to work around it, right? So as long as you're paying attention, you will be perfectly fine. As long as you're not just buying a fantasy, you will be fine. It's like, okay, if you want to, enjoy the fantasy, that's perfectly fine. But also, like I said, look at the evidence. And if you do that, you'll be fine. You have the Queen of Cups. Here we go. So divine counterparts right here. This could be a very strong emotional connection. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Could be good, could be bad with Neptune going back into Pisces. It's like sometimes emotional connections during Neptune and Pisces are good because if they're supportive emotionally. Sometimes they are bad if the two of you are like two hurricanes colliding together, spinning in opposite directions, right? It's like actually maybe two people who are both hurricanes who are spinning in the same direction might be okay. So it's like if you're both a mess, but you're both a mess in the same direction, maybe that's fine, right? But what I would say is we do have the sun here, which would be positive emotion. So, I think that this could be a very strong emotional connection. You have the Four Cups. I think you need to let go of past disappointments. Everybody is too used to being disappointed because we had Pluto and Capricorn for 20 years. Pluto and Capricorn is disappointing. It's like, in some ways. It's not... Like, I don't really like to just say, like, oh, this is bad, like I did with Chiron and Aries, and just, like, discount astrology, right? It's like there's a reason we choose to live through these things. But Pluto and Capricorn can be, like, disappointments. You experience something, you think that you are creating an establishment with Pluto and Capricorn, meaning you think you're going to marry a person, or you think you're going to be with a person, and then something happens to collapse the reality, and it doesn't work out, right? And so that, and again, it's not always, like, love for everybody. This is happening in different areas of life. But I think that what you need to do as an earth sign is let go of past disappointments. Like, not everything is going to be a disappointment now like it was in the past. So, just let go of being disappointed, as hard as it is, right? Or let go of thinking that you're going to be disappointed and, kind of like open up to the fact that you could be pleasantly surprised. With the Two of Pentacles, with the Two of Cups, you have the Two of Pentacles. And so, Two of Pentacles, sometimes I think in love just says keep it fun, keep it lighthearted, not to just be willing to have fun, right? It's like sometimes I see this a lot in TikTok and stuff, and where it's like people, I can tell that the reason that they're having a miserable time dating is because they're like taking it too seriously. It's like they're trying to find the love of their life and, all this other stuff. It's like I saw one with a girl, she was like crying before a date the other day. I'm like, it shouldn't be like this, right? We shouldn't be crying before dates and, all this other stuff. We should just be saying, you know what? I'm just going to have fun with this person no matter what, even if they're a total bozo, right? It's like, that's the thing. If you go on a date with a person who's a total bozo, it's like, have fun with it, like just be like, I can laugh at this. and then when you do that, then you'll attract the love of your life, right? With the Queen of Cups, because it's like, who wants to be with someone who is super freaking serious? No one. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Two of Cups, can't make it up. It's like just the universe saying I meant what I said, plain and simple. With the Four of Cups, here you go, you have the Emperor. Definitely could be attracting a serious person that is serious. Like, I think they're fun, but probably what I'm talking about with serious is that they are in control of their life. We have the Control card here. They are probably serious about a connection and not a bozo, like I just said. So, if you are looking for love, this looks amazing. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Listen card. It says, your inner child has something to say. Sure. You have this card that says you can do hard things. It is not impossible. It is not as impossible as it may feel. Yes, I think we all need to believe this right now. We all have to exceed our own expectations. We're getting one more chance. Again, Pluto is Neptune. I think I said Pluto for some reason earlier in Aries, but I meant to say Neptune, so I don't remember what I said, but Neptune is retrograding back into Pisces, and that we're getting one more chance with Neptune and Pisces to like really go for the impossible dream, right? So if there is something that you want to accomplish, I kind of think that you could either get started right now, or you're going to have maybe one more chance at the end of the year to like get started on the impossible dream. So I think everybody should try to do something hard. You have the Five of Swords, the Sun, and the King of Swords. It's like, I do think you are cutting things out of your life with the Five of Swords in a good way. things that slow you down, things that aren't leading to success. I also get like this very brutally honest energy off of this Five of Swords, but like I feel like you're being brutally honest with yourself, where you're saying like if there are things that aren't working in your life, I think you're just brutally cutting it out in a good way, but it's almost like this is what has been needed for you, Virgo. I don't know, kind of a weird message to get off the Five of Swords, but again, I read intuitively, and that's what I'm getting. It's like you're being brutally honest with yourself or something, or you're like saying you're being honest about like what is working, what's not working in your life, and you're just like cutting things out very quickly. I feel it's good. You have the Sun, again, best card in the deck, so definitely something is going to make you very happy this week. So I do feel that there could be a lot of happiness and joy coming in for you at this time. One thing I will say is that, I believe that tarot is action, right? Like this is just energy that exists that you have to work with. And so the Sun is about ease. And so the Sun, when it comes up in a reading, yeah, it's a very good card, but I think that we have to do things to make our life easier with the Sun. 10 of Wands with the Sun as well. It's literally, the reading is telling you are doing certain things the hard way with the 10 of Wands. The Sun says there's an easier way to do these things, right? And so it's like, why not set yourself up for success and do things in the easiest way possible, right? And that's, you're going to have to do your research. You're going to have to do the work to figure that out. But it's definitely something, I said it in the 2025 readings, the yearly readings, that this is going to be a year of efficiency, and where we have to learn how to be efficient. We have to learn how to do things the easy way. And, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy, but, it's like if there are, maybe there are things, it's about kind of like cutting things down, right? If there are things that you do in work or business that maybe take you 10 hours, could you, even if you find a different way of doing it that takes 8 hours, you saved yourself 2 hours, right? If you do that in multiple areas of your life, then you're saving yourself a bunch of time. You're making your life a lot easier. You're removing the burden with the 10 of Wands, right? And so that is the action that I would take with the Sun. You have the King of Swords. King of Swords, knowledge and wisdom. I think also it's an amazing year to learn from mentors. So again, if you're looking for ways to make things easier, finding smarter people who know more than you, who can help you do things, would be a very good idea with the King of Swords. So, finding mentors, finding guides, learning from people, online, reading books, all that stuff, gaining knowledge and wisdom would be a good idea. You could also be attracting a person who's older than you if you are looking for love. So there you go. If you are intrigued by a person, this is definitely your person. I feel like saying that with the King of Swords. Like, let's say you have seen a person, but you haven't talked to them, and you're like intrigued, like that word I used earlier, where you're like, I wonder what this person's about. It's kind of like that wondering feeling. I really feel this could be your person. So there you go. With the Five of Swords, you have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, never again. I think there are certain things in your life where you're saying never again. It's like you're kind of like putting boundaries up against certain things that are time wasters, that steal your time, all that other stuff. And that's really the feeling I get there. With the Sun, you have the Seven of Cups. We talked about the imagination, right? The dangers of imagination. The Seven of Cups isn't really a bad card, and it's actually showing up in the good stuff here. But the Seven of Cups, it's like, the danger is getting caught up in the imagination. I definitely feel with, again, Pisces being your opposite sign, and with Neptune retrograding back into Pisces this year, it's one of those things where, again, I don't think you have to go crazy. But if you have a dream, take a step towards it. It doesn't even matter how small that step is. Like, literally, like if your dream is to write a book, pause this video right now, get on your computer and put a word down on a piece of paper. That's literally the amount of effort that is required, by the way, is no effort, barely anything. It's not about being perfect. It's about getting started, right? So I think that's what people need to realize. Someone asked me this the other day. They said, how small of a step can I take? And I literally said, if you wanted to write a book, just like literally getting out a piece of paper and putting a word down, like the or whatever. That's all that is required. You just have to show the universe that you're actually going to get started, right? So it doesn't matter how impossible the dream may seem. It's like I always make the joke about being an astronaut. It's like if you want to be an astronaut, it's like maybe you literally can't because maybe you're not smart enough or whatever. But it's like there are things you could do, right, that would get you pretty freaking close. You could start talking about space on YouTube, right? You could do so many things. You could start learning about it. You could start watching space documentaries on YouTube and all sorts of stuff, right? It's not about actually being the thing. It's about getting close, right? And that's what I would do with that Seven of Cups. Don't just fantasize. Make it real. Do something to actually make it real, no matter how big or small it is. With the King of Swords, you have the King of Swords. Yes, it's like there are plenty of people you can learn from, plenty of experts, blah, blah, blah. Definitely could be attracting an older person as well. Oh, you cannot make this up. In the area of the good stuff, you have this exploration card. It says, right now you need to search and explore. It's okay to wander until you find your home. Look at this right here. Like, are you kidding me? I was just talking about space, and you have the astronaut showing up here. You have this Gemini card. It says, speak your truth. It says, choose your words wisely. Remember that your words have consequences. There is something weird going on with words as well. It's like a lot of the readings have been saying this, like that we need to be extra careful of the things that we say, how we speak to ourselves mostly. And, I would definitely keep an eye on that for sure. And this card is Gemini, and Uranus just went into Gemini. So, that could be part of it. You have the Seven of Cups, the King of Cups, and the Chariot. The Seven of Cups is the card of being spoiled for choice, having a lot of options. So, I don't know, I feel like you have a lot of options at this time. It's coming up in the good stuff, right? So, I do feel it's saying dream big, but also take the small steps, right? Make something happen. Take that, get started on something. It's like I'm working on a big project right now, another one. And, what else is new with me? But, what I would say is, the other day I was okay, I just need to get started. So I literally started with a checklist, right? That's how I got started, is I came up with a checklist of what needs to get done for this project, and I started checking things off, right? And, I did this because today is the 15th. Tomorrow is the 16th. The day this video is going to be published is basically the day before the Mercury retrograde, 17th or 18th, depending on where you are in the world, right? And so, I think just like doing one thing, even if it's a checklist, even if it's just writing things down, is what needs to happen here, Virgo, for sure. You have the King of Cups. Yeah, I feel like you're attracting a very compassionate person. If you want love, very emotional person. I feel like you're attracting like a very, like a lover boy, lover girl type of energy. Like this person loves love is the type of energy that I get off of this person. They could be very cuddly and stuff as well. Like, I don't know. It's like, that's the feeling I get. If you don't like being touched, this might not be the right person for you. But if you do, then this is definitely like the right person for you, for sure. It's like, it wouldn't surprise me if this person's love language was touch, right? Or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember what the love languages are, but I'm pretty sure one of them is touch. So like physical touch or something. So, it wouldn't surprise me just in general. It could be your love language as well. But definitely like a person who loves love, right? I also feel that this is talking about your emotions. So, you could be a very happy week, which is good. You have the Chariot. Chariot is a victory or a big success coming in for you. Chariot is a lot of movement. We started the reading with the Ten of Wands, which also I said I felt like a lot was going on in your life. And the Chariot is very similar. Chariot can say that you're just making a lot of moves. He's leaving the city behind him behind. He's setting himself apart. I think a lot of Virgos are doing that. I mean, I really can't even talk about it in your readings anymore because people just say, you said this last week. And yes, I did, right? It's like you don't change overnight, obviously. So I think a lot of you could just be changing. I think you're setting yourself apart. You're like different. You're reinventing yourselves, Virgo. And, this comes up for you a lot. So just wouldn't surprise me. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is about being adventurous. It's fun. When I started your reading, I was shuffling this deck right here, this clarifying deck, before I started it, and the Page of Wands kept popping out. And so I forgot to say that at the beginning of the reading. So that's kind of interesting. Definitely, the Page of Wands, he goes on adventures because he's excited, he's enthusiastic. Very similar energy with the Knight of Wands. He just does things because he feels excited by them. So that would be good. With the King of Cups, you have two cards. You have the Justice card and the Tower. Could be a Scorpio. You've been getting Scorpio with me for a long time. So if you want love, could be a Scorpio with the Tower. The Tower and the good stuff is good. The Tower and the good stuff can represent a move. Same with the Chariot. So some of you could just be moving. Could also say you're avoiding a Tower moment. This could also, I also kind of feel like it's funny that I said two hurricanes coming together. Right? Isn't that weird? The Tower is like a disaster. I don't know if I said this. I'm a little bit nervous about this week, just in general, like globally. Like there could be some weird events happening. That's all I can say about that on YouTube. But so don't be surprised. Number one. But number two, it's like I'm wondering if this is two people who've actually healed. It's like maybe you were a hurricane. Maybe you're attracting a person who was a hurricane. But it's like now you've healed and you've gotten over it and you have balanced out with the Justice card. So that could be good. With the Chariot, you have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, you're charging towards something this week. Very busy week for you here, Virgo. So don't be surprised if you're like busy, running around, doing a lot of stuff. I feel like it's good busy though. It's like there's a difference between, good busy and bad busy. Good busy is where you're busy. Good busy is where there's the return of energy, meaning, yeah, you're doing a lot, but you're also being equally, if not better, fulfilled in the busyness, right? That's good busy. Bad busy is where you're burning yourself out, right? So this to me looks like good busy this week. You have this scissors card. It says disappointment in some affair. I feel like you're letting go of disappointments, really. So there you go. You have this October card in this tulip. It says great passion. If you're feeling, I feel a lot of people feel this way. It's like, I feel like people are looking for passion. It's like missing a little bit. It's like people are looking for something to excite them, right? And so if you're not feeling excited right now, don't worry. I feel like you will return to passion by the time we get to October. I think everyone will. I feel that's a very collective type of thing going on. You have this wishbone that says wish granted. I'm hearing funny bone as well, which is weird. Like, this could be, if you're attracting a person, you could be attracting like a person where you laugh a lot with them. It looks like there's a lot of happiness here, sun twice, right? So definitely could be a person who really where you laugh a lot together and things like that as well. But also could be a wish. You have this boat. It says money or property through an inheritance, winning or windfall. That's amazing. Definitely money could be improving for you. You have this ant card that says work, achievement, success. So work looks good as well, Virgo. The whole reading, this looks pretty good to me. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.